I've never tried this technique before, but Inktober felt like the right time to try it out. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Atreyu, and I'm drawing something new with inks every single day for Inktober. And if you're returning to this challenge, welcome back. We're on day 28 of this series. My goal for today's art was to create a skull that has some sort of flow pulling away from it with a metallic shine. I wanted to piggyback, if you don't mind, I want to piggyback off yesterday's conversation, about evolving your art and how maybe you notice this, maybe you don't. But let me just, ask you, have you noticed how sometimes you don't notice what little pieces are improving about your art from step to step to step? I find this very interesting because yesterday we talked about the cumulative amount of experience equating to the speeding up the progress on how you're getting better at art. But today I want to talk about how interesting it is to notice the little slivers of improvements that happen every single time you create something new that you don't necessarily realize. And maybe that's a good time for us to slow down and take the time, even when we're creating something. Hopefully you have the time, but to take the time to notice with each stroke of the pen or the brush or whatever how you're acting upon it. And there's a very actually small example that I'd like to use here that's kind of interesting to think about. Is I remember back when I was first learning how to draw, I wasn't very confident in the lines that I would create. And let's just talk about drawing a circle. All right, so to draw a circle, I wouldn't go with one fast swoop around. I would take time, and I would make these little, almost like crosshatchy lines to kind of build the form slowly, and kept repeating my stroke over and over again until I would complete that circle. Where now it comes to today, where it won't be a one. I'm not like that. All right, I'm not doing a one swoop and it's a perfect circle. But what I notice is I'm not doing those smaller, little sketchy, crosshatchy, busy lines to build up a form. I'm more so going for the form immediately because I feel more confident in that. But I'm repeating it very lightly a couple times. And then when I take the eraser, maybe go over it with a final line, I have a more direct area on where I want that to be. So I feel like I'm honing into the accuracy of whatever I'm trying to describe a little bit quicker than I was in the beginning of when I started to draw. And maybe you notice this too. We don't have to talk about simple shapes and lines and stuff like this, but I just wanted to bring up how I don't know when that period was when I stopped necessarily doing the little crosshatchy lines to get to that circle, as opposed to getting to where I am now. I don't know at what point that changed, but it did change. And so a lot of our progress that we have on the day-to-day with every piece that we make is not really noticeable. But you are making progress. If you're practicing and you're doing this consistently, you basically don't have an option to not excel or improve at what you're doing. So, if you have a lack of confidence and you're feeling intimidated, or you're comparing yourself to others online where you want to be at, just know that you are getting better if you are creating often, and to trust the process and to try to focus on those little pieces that you are improving on, and I think that will make you pretty happy. I think today's creation came out pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of almost like a tattoo. I felt like the flow around the skull was pretty cool. I think I captured a little bit of that shine that I was going for originally, and I don't think it's as cool as the piece yesterday, but I think it's still a decent piece. So overall, I'm happy with it. And that's it for today's art, but it's time for
The question of the day.
what's your go-to way of pushing through a creative block? I'd love to hear it. For tomorrow, you can expect the piece to be something completely different than it was today. And if you're sticking here with me through every day of Inktober, you're officially a part of the challenge with me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. All right, peace.